Merhaba. That's hello in Turkish. My name's Matt, and this is yo, wake up.
Günaydın. That's good morning in Turkish. My name is Perlie, and we're coming to you live from
Istanbul, Turkey.
So yeah, briefly, I guess, why Istanbul? So while Perlie was searching for jobs, we came between two schools, one in Istanbul, one in Prague. I've been to both cities, but I've been to Istanbul twice, most recently last year on just another unrelated trip. And, I really enjoy the city. I think there's so much to offer. And, I told Perlie, I think we should do the Istanbul job. I have a familiarity with it. And, there's just so much more I want to see, explore here kind of thing. And I really liked the opportunity to live here as opposed to just being here as a tourist. And yeah, I got Perlie to accept that. And here we are.
Well, after finishing Korea, I was pretty much flexible as to wherever we would go around the world next for our next contract. So yeah, Istanbul seemed cool, and I know Matt talked highly about it. So yes, here we are. So the both of us are from the United States, but we actually met in Busan, South Korea, which is where we were living and teaching before coming to Turkey. Funny story, we actually met because of ITA itself.
She actually slid into my DMs.
Well, because I found him on the Facebook alumni page for South Korea, and I wanted to ask him questions about living in Busan since he had moved there 6 months before me. So that is why I messaged him. And then he asked me on a date without even having met me. And yeah, so when I landed in South Korea after 2 weeks of quarantine, my first night out of quarantine was spent
with yours
on
truly.
A date with this guy. And here we are now.
And now here we are in Turkey.
Funny how life works.
Yeah, so we have been here for about 4 months. We arrived at the end of July. We had a training period in August, and so school started about mid-September. So we're going, about 3 months at the teaching part, but about 4 months here. And we found our job. Perlie found it.
So we found it on daysesl.com. You guys might have heard of it. And so there was just a job listing for our preschool, and they were looking for openings for the fall school year. And so we just sent an email to the contact, and yeah, just got an interview, and from then on, here we are.
All right, so we both work at preschools here. I work with the 5-year-olds.
I work with the 4-year-olds.
And so we'll be showing you our different campuses later once we arrive.
So the school we work at is a private school, and they have branches all throughout Istanbul. They go from preschool all the way to high school. So there are many, many, many campuses. So it is a very prestigious school. A lot of people, it has a very good reputation here in Turkey. Everyone seems to know about it.
All right, hello again. It is about 6:50 in the morning, and we're both getting ready to go to school. While we did come here together, we actually work at 2 different campuses and 2 different locations. So we take different ways to get to school. So I am getting ready to go on a bus that the school provides to school.
So there is a rule where couples are not allowed to work on the same campus with our school company. And so Matt takes the service, but I take a taxi.
I know y'all are dying to see our apartment, but it's just too early in the morning to do that. So we'll be showing you our little crib a little later. So stay tuned. Y'all, it's been great talking to you bright and early in the morning. Wouldn't have wanted to start my day any other way. But we do have to go to school. We'll have to part our separate ways. But in the meantime, if you want to drop some questions for us, please do that right here.
So now we're here at school. Matt and I are at our separate campuses now. My campus is more downtown in the city where you can see the buildings. I'm in the garden right now. So just some background about me. I'm 25 years old from Los Angeles, California. I got my TEFL certificate from ITA in the summer of 2020. I have a bachelor's degree in economics. I also have a teaching license in elementary education. So this is an example of the 4-year-old students' classrooms, a bit smaller than the 5-year-olds. So there's a drama corner, circle time area, book corner, tables, and then step outside, it's the garden.
All right, MTV class tours, let's get it. So we are the Majestic Meerkats, don't forget it. So here's an example of a class here in Istanbul. So yeah, this is our class for 16 students. Just, your standard class. We have our carpet for circle time, got our smart board that we use for all our activities, just all our decorations. Here is my desk for yours truly. This is where my partner teacher sits. So as mentioned before, I'm the native English speaker and I'm partnered up with a Turkish teacher as well. Here's my little meerkat I drew. Majestic. Alright, so this is where I work. So while I am a preschool teacher working with the 5-year-olds, this is the campus. So here we have the preschool in the bottom floor here. So here we have our garden. So we have 2 sessions of garden time a day. So it's 30 minutes each, and that's 1 hour. So over here is the primary school. Well, again, my name is Matt, 27 years old from the U.S., great state of Maryland, shout out. I went to the University of Maryland, graduated in 2017, and then that fall afterwards of graduation, I got my TEFL certificate, and then I went to Spain. So I was in Spain teaching there in Galicia in the Northwest. I taught age 3 to 13, and then stayed on with the same company that I worked for, and so then was in Barcelona for the following year. And then after that, COVID kind of hit, was doing some traveling, but then, ended up in Korea. So I was in Busan. So yeah, taught there for about 13 months. Also taught English online, and yeah, I'm just happy to talk about my experiences in Spain and Korea. Had a great time, and just wasn't ready to give up the traveling, teaching kind of route. So here we are in Turkey, and yeah, just making moves.
So some really cool facts about the city of Istanbul is that it is a city that straddles 2 continents, both Europe and Asia. It is the only city to do so, and the only thing that separates the 2 continents is the Bosphorus Strait. So Matt and I, we live on the European side. Istanbul is also considered the largest city in Europe.
All right, y'all, MTV Apartments Edition. We up on the 2nd floor. So yeah, housing is provided by our school. So this is our crib. So here we have on the right side, we have our kitchen. We got our fridge. Got a nice little dishwasher. All our cabinets, little toaster oven. So all that came provided. We also got provided with 3 chairs. Make that a 4th one. Got a little TV stand. It did come with the TV. This little desk up in here. We did a little decoration, lacrosse stick, let's get it. So here's our view. Hey, Maryland, okay. So here, again, we're on the 2nd floor. So here's our view. Up here we have a really tall hotel that you can go on the rooftop. They have a rooftop bar up there. So here we have, in this room, have our little bedroom. So yeah, it did come with the bed and everything. Closet up in here. Here's a little storage space. So we just put all our stuff up in there. Yeah, so here's our bed. Columbia, Maryland, okay. And yeah, here's our bathroom. So yeah, just, simple. Got our sink, toilet, and then a little shower here. So again, everything is provided.
I just got back from the grocery store, gonna cook some dinner for my Matt while he watches the World Cup.
All right, so how necessary is it to speak Turkish here? I would say it definitely helps if you can, in terms of the lifestyle, going out and about. Istanbul, I think, is quite, you can get around with English, but once you go to smaller towns or definitely outside of Istanbul, it is more difficult, but, that's part of traveling. But in terms of the job itself, everything is in English. So even with the native Turkish teacher, at least for mine, working with the 5-year-olds, they're not even allowed to speak Turkish to the children. It's actually they're supposed to hide it from the children. So yeah, no, everything is in, again, English. It would help, I guess, maybe sometimes if a kid's level of English is so low and they're speaking to me in Turkish, I don't understand what they're saying. But no, you don't need it for this job.
So we have intended to stay here for just one school year. So we arrived in the beginning of August is when the school year started, and our contract is until the end of the school year, which is in late June. And so for the time being, that is how long we intend to stay here for. And where to next? Who knows? So in light of the recent bombing here in Taksim in Istanbul, yes, it is scary just because it is an area that we and a lot of our friends frequent. It is a very popular area in Istanbul to go for, many activities to do. But in terms of if it's making us more scared or worried in our day-to-day life, simple answer, no.
Yeah, this is the sad fact of reality, just that there is always a potential for, I guess, terrorist threats or violence, not just in Turkey. It's a global issue, and it's sad. I guess you have to be cognizant of that when you do go out. But no, here, it did happen. It is scary. But I think moving forward, we're not doing activities or things as a result of that. But yeah, it is scary.
Honestly, that is a great question because we wondered the same thing, and we honestly do not know the answer because we've never seen anything. Well, I've never seen anything like that in schools that I've worked at before, but.
Yeah, we are one of 3 couples that are split across the 3 preschool campuses. But maybe a good answer to the question is my man's Akon said it best. Nobody wanna see us together. I don't know.
Honestly, the biggest concern for me moving abroad is really the job itself, like moving to a new school, becoming more accustomed to a new work culture that, I'm unfamiliar with. But really, it's more just like an adjustment, not really a big concern of mine.
Yeah, and for me, this is my first rodeo. Have lived abroad several times, moving to Spain twice and then Korea. So I am, quite accustomed and used to all the concerns, I guess, if you will, of moving abroad. But I guess now more than ever, especially when we're looking for jobs, looking at the state of the economy in those specific countries and how inflation is affecting it. Because, in Turkey, inflation is on the rise. So again, just like preparing for that kind of thing. But, then I guess other little minor worries, work-life balance, and then, how you will make friends kind of thing. But yeah, quite used to it now. So yeah, in regards to the visa process, so as American citizens, we come to the country under a tourist visa. So you apply for one online, very quick and easy. So we're allowed to be in the country for a 90-day period within 180 days. So in that time, the school works to convert that into a residency permit, which takes some time. But then once you get your residency permit, the school will take specific documents and stuff that you bring over, and then will help to transfer that into a work permit, which could take up to 8 to 9 months. So it is a lengthy process. But yeah, that's how it works in Turkey.
However, this year, due to the upcoming election, and the government has decided to really crack down on the amount of foreigners arriving and living in Istanbul, this year is sort of an anonymous.
Hi y'all, thank you so much for tuning in and spending your day with us today. It is now time for bed. Gotta wake up early and work and do it all again tomorrow. For the next screen, we'll put on our personal accounts if you have any other questions about, Korea, Spain, or, Turkey. We're happy to answer, and hope to hear from you soon.
We had such a blast showing you around a day in our life, teaching and living in Istanbul, Turkey, and hope you learned a lot from us. Hopefully we could help out in any way we can.
All right, never stop making moves.